Before he is taken, the learned prosecutor, Ms. Maina, asked that the charges be altered and it be withdrawn under Section 87A of the CPC on grounds that the accused is facing similar charges in a related file being E1171 of 2023. She therefore asked that the charges be withdrawn. The accused, through learned senior counsel, Ms. Karua, whereas not opposed to the adoption of the charges, objected to its withdrawal and in turn called that the charges be dismissed on grounds that there is multiplicity as the accused is already charged in a related file above the file. I heard the application and the response thereto. One notable thing is that the accused has not pleaded to the charge. The prosecution has sought its termination by invoking Section 87A of the CPC. The above section is for utilization by the prosecution. What this court will be concerned about is the net effect of the withdrawal under the implied section. Such withdrawal would only result to discharge of the person charged and is amenable to being charged with similar offense on a later date should need arise. That is the usual fear. In this case, it is my respectful view that this cannot arise as the accused is charged in the earlier file being E1171 of 2023. In the premise, I allow the prosecution's application to have the matter withdrawn under Section 87A and consequently the accused is discharged for the charges he raised. Let me make an observation on the fact of multiplicity as alluded to by the learned senior counsel. This cannot, in my view, arise, as this case, having been withdrawn, ceases to exist. Consequently, I allow the application as paid and mark this matter as withdrawn under Section 87A of the CPC, and the accused is accordingly discharged.
You know, on one issue,
Yes.
Under that file,
Yes.
that you have just discharged the accused person.
Yes. Any other question?
And this is an issue that has been invited to my mind by the orders you've granted.
Yes.
The orders of discharge. Under that file, Your Honor, do you have, or is there an accused person? So I'm making an application
Yes.
that you set aside that order of discharge
Yes.
on the basis that a discharge cannot arise where the court is not seized or is not in possession of the charge, and where the charge has not been read out to the accused person, to avert the mischief that the DCI wants to perpetrate as against the accused person. In my humble submissions, Your Honor, a discharge can only arise where the accused person has taken charge in that particular, has taken plea in that particular charge sheet. I therefore urge you to set aside that order and find the most appropriate order under the CPC that suits the situation that the DPP has invited in. One reason, if that order is not set aside, Your Honor, it is going to amount to miscarriage, and there will be a threat to the liberty of the accused person, and it will be a threat that the court has been invited to in a witty way by the DPP.
to invite the prosecution to respond to that. My last order is that the matter is marked as withdrawn.
Most obliged. I had not had that letter order, and I guess my friends in the media had not also had it.
The matter is marked as withdrawn.
Most obliged.
Can we go back to 1171?
Yes, we are ready for plea.
Okay.
John, Maina, Njenga.
Yes, yes. Just for clarity of record, and perhaps find out if the other accused are present. Daudi, one second. Daniel Mukwe Njoroge. Simon Muigai Matthew. John Kuria Kariuki. Peterson Wanjau Jirangu. Samuel Kanete Nkike. Julius Lungu. Come on. Peter Njenga Wambu. John Maina Njenga.
Yes,
Philip Kagiri Njoroge. Peter Njoroge Kinuthia. And Joel Muriu Irabu. Only have the name that appears.
You are charged with 7 counts, and on the first count, you are charged with being a member of an organized criminal group, contrary to Section 7B, as stated in Section 14 of the Prevention of Organized Crimes Act, number 6 of 2010, laws of Kenya, particulars of the offense are that on diverse dates between 12th May 2023 and 18th May 2023 in Nakuru North Sub-County within Nakuru County, jointly with others not before court, upon reasonable ground, were identified as a member of an employed organized criminal group to Ex-Mungiki. Do you plead guilty or not guilty? No. And on the second count, you are charged with engaging in an organized criminal activity under Section 3, 1J, as read in Section 4.1 of the Prevention of Organized Crimes Act, number 6, 2010, laws of Kenya, particularly others, was on the 12th May 2023 at Wanyororo area in Nakuru, North Sub-County within Nakuru County, jointly with others not before court, were found in possession of records likely to be useful to a person preparing to commit a serious crime involving an organized criminal group, to wit Mungiki. Guilty or not guilty? On the third count, you are charged with engaging in an organized criminal activity contrary to Section 3 or as read with Section 4, Subsection 1 of the Prevention of Organized Crimes Act number 6, 2010, laws of Kenya. Particulars are that it was on the 12th day of May 2023 at Wanyororo area in Nakuru, North Sub-County within Nakuru County, jointly with others not before court, attended a meeting whose purpose was for encouraging support of an organized criminal group, to wit Mungiki, or furthering its activities. Guilty or not guilty? And on the fifth count, you are charged with engaging in an organized criminal activity contrary to Section 3 or as read with Section 4 of the Prevention of Organized Crimes Act number 6, 2010, laws of Kenya. Particulars are that it was on the 11th day of May 2023 at Wanyororo area in Nakuru, North Sub-County within Nakuru County, jointly with others not before court, addressed a meeting whose purpose was for encouraging support of an organized criminal group, to wit Mungiki, or furthering its activities. Guilty or not guilty? On the fifth count, you are charged with engaging in organized criminal activities contrary to Section 3, subsection H, as read with Section 4.1 of the Prevention of Organized Crimes Act number 6 of 2010, laws of Kenya. Particulars of the offense are that it was on the 11th day of May 2023 at Wanyororo area in Nakuru Sub-County within Nakuru County, jointly with others not before court, invited 1 David Mwangi Shege, 2 Daniel Mugo Joroge, Simon Mugai Madu, John Kuria Karioki, Peterson Wanjau Birango, Samuel Kanyebe Bide, Julius Domo Kamau, Peter Njenga, Wambui, to a meeting whose purpose was to provide instructions connected with Mungiki, an outlawed organized criminal group. You plead guilty or not guilty? And on the sixth count, you are charged with engaging in an organized criminal activity contrary to Section 3, subsection K, as read with Section 4.1 of the Prevention of Organized Crimes Act number 6 of 2010, laws of Kenya. Particulars of the case are that it was on the 11th day of May 2023 at Wanyororo in Nakuru County within Nakuru County, jointly with others not before court, provided your home for use by David Mwangi Shege, Daniel Mungo Joroge, Simon Mugai Madu, John Kuria Karioki, Peterson Wanjau Birango, Samuel Kanyebe Gige, Julius Domo Kamau, Peter Njenga Wambui, with others not before court, to hold a meeting whose purpose is connected with Mungiki, an outlawed organized criminal group. Guilty or not guilty? On count 7, you are charged with engaging in organized criminal activities contrary to Section 3, Section 1, as read in Section 4.1 of the Prevention of Organized Crimes Act number 6, 2010, laws of Kenya. Particular the offense are that it was on the 11th day of May 2023 at Wanyororo area in Nakuru, North Sub-County within Nakuru County, jointly with others not before court, permitted your home for use by David Mwangi Shege, Daniel Mugo Joroge, Simon Mugai Madu, John Kuria Karioki, Peterson Wanjau Birango, Samuel Kanyebe Gide, Julius Domo Kamau, Peter Njenga Wambui, with others not before court, to hold a meeting whose purpose is connected with Mungiki, an outlawed organized criminal activity. You plead guilty or not guilty?
You are not guilty for all the counts, just back to number 9. Yes,
we apply for bail for the client on similar terms as his co-accused, who are released on a 50,000 Kenya shillings cash bail or 100,000 shillings bond. I was just looking at how the DCI is describing our client on their social media on the 24th of this month under the heading Ex-Mungiki leader, when they were circulating that he is wanted. So although there are so many charges claiming that he is in an unlawful organization, the DCI seems to acknowledge that he is a former leader of that organization. So I'm asking the court, and I know the court knows this, that an accused is presumed innocent until proven guilty, but I've brought that angle for you to see that even the police know he is a former leader of such an organization. Therefore, the charges, the police will provide the best evidence that the charges before the court cannot stand. So, but more on the basis that his co-accused have been released, that he brought himself, presented himself to court last week, presented himself voluntarily to DCI Nairobi, and today has presented himself to court voluntarily. This is a man who the court can even release on a free bond. He is a leader who in the recent elections vied for senator of Nyandarua County, not Nyandarua, like Laikipia County, and garnered over 40,000 votes. So I can say he's a leader of repute. He's not a person who can fail to come to court. He's not a flight risk. So if the court is persuaded, you can admit him to free bond, and if not, grant him same terms as the others. Allow me, without drama, to say the following.
Yes,
That will be...
You see,
Oh, sorry. I've forgotten. I used to sit where you're sitting.
I understand.
And I'm forgetting that it's still manual. We haven't gone digital. Yeah.
Please remember that.
Yeah, I will be looking at your pen.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm saying that...
Yes, I'm ready right now.
Okay, okay.
Where you are.
Sorry. Yeah, that our client's view is that these charges are politically motivated for the sole intention of curtailing his political and civil rights, especially the right to self-expression, association and assembly. And also intended to stop him from mobilizing his political base like every other politician does. And one pointer to that is that advert I have drawn the court's attention to. And I've shown the prosecutor, and it's on the DCI's timeline, where he is referred to as ex-Mungiki leader. Yet they prefer charges, saying he's a member of an unlawful association. I also wish to draw your attention, Your Honor, when he presented himself to the DCI last Friday, last Thursday, which was the 25th of May, and I was present, he was, through tricks, separated from us, his lawyers, and spirited away and it took the intervention of the DPP to have him set free to present himself before your court today. Looking at the time, because this was happening after 1 p.m. They intended to have him over the weekend, not because it was necessary, but as a punishment before even the trial commences. And we are grateful to the DPP that he put an end to that, and we came to court. He came to court as a free person. I'm only bringing in that so that the court appreciates the mischief that is being played. Finally, I want to say that there has been certain statements in the press which I'm going to ask my learned junior, Degwanjiru, to more particularly describe, which prejudice the trial of the accused, our client, and which we will be urging the court to make appropriate directions. Over to you, Mr. Njiro.
You know, yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor, proceeding from where senior counsel has penned off, it is true the bail terms being sought, they have, or they can be induced or influenced by external forces, despite the fact and the knowledge of the independence of the court, that our client has been vilified and crucified in the media by the individuals who want to see this trial or these incidents taking place this day. I'll not shy off, Your Honor, to suggest under Article 27 that we are all equal before the law, and that yesterday in a function somewhere in Thika, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya made vilifying comments that are meant to lower the opinion of the right-thinking member of the society insofar as the innocence of our client is an issue. Again, I reiterate, I am aware that the court is independent under Article 159, but those statements, knowing the experience this country has had previously with the same group to which the DCI acknowledges that our client does not belong to, can invite, and indeed threats were issued, that young men will be subject of extrajudicial killing from a very, very high office. I have no reason to doubt that that can happen, especially if the same is done by the second person in command. So we are before you, seeking for your mercy, that you grant our client bail as prayed, and that this court does injunct any person, any organ, any individual, and desist and resist from making such comments that are derogatory and prejudicial to our client's case. Indeed, Your Honor, under the common law, such an act is punishable by this court that is seized of this matter. Yes, Your Honor? Oh, sorry, I've not been allowed. Yes, I acknowledge. Sorry, Your Honor. Oh, where are you? Sorry, Your Honor. Where have I lost you? Such comments that are derogatory and prejudicial to our client's case, the individuals making them must be restrained by this honorable court, which has the jurisdiction to do so, from making such of prejudicial derogatory statements. And I said, Your Honor, that under common law, such an act would be punishable by this court under the doctrine of sub judice. We'll be making relevant applications in the future to the individuals concerned with those statements during the trial.
Your Honor, I do hear the sentiments of the counsels, and I appreciate it. I believe this is an independent office, the judiciary and the courts, to make decisions in respect to bond and bail, guided by the bond and bail guidelines. So I believe counsel indicating that there will be influence from external forces. There are allegations that need to be founded. And counsel should not be seeking for mercy, but I believe court should do what is right. I do also appreciate the sentiments of our senior counsel. But the rest of the accused person were released on 50 cash bail or bond of 100,000. Your Honor, we do object to the accused person be released on free bond. And cash bail and bond be granted commensurate to the charges before this court. To be able to proceed with the matter. That is all.
Other than bond, there are some substantive issues that have been placed, which I think it ought to be captured in substantive ruling. You will kindly give me about 30 minutes. We'll shoot at 10 minutes past noon. Sorry, 10 minutes past 1. That's the next